Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have a dual Dokkan Fest here at the start of the Worldwide Download Celebration this year. Last year we had a Carnival and a Dokkan Fest. Funny enough, I would say that comparative to the rest of the game, I do feel like last year's releases were stronger, like in the overall rankings, cooler, and the Tech Carnival Goku. But I wouldn't say that these are like necessarily worse releases or anything like that. For the most part, with a lot of characters, I would say Dokkan has done a good job of not really pushing power creep. I think that the 7th anniversary LRs, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the LR Gods, are still very competitive, sort of in today's meta. And I mean, these are units that are closing in on 2 years old. Dokkan, I feel like, has kind of done a good job of keeping a lot of these strong characters just within the general vicinity of each other, right? They haven't really exploded like a huge jump since the 7th anniversary red zones have become a thing. So I think that's good. I think Dokkan has done a good job. I mean, they've done a lot of characters that have maybe been designed poorly or had, you know, incredible flaws. And I mean, we'll talk about some flaws in some characters here, but for the most part, I would say the game, I feel like, is in a pretty good spot. Let's just get going. Let's move. Okay. I have my last, like, top 10 LR list pulled up right here. I was actually rather surprised at the very limited movements I did here. So, since I think we're actually going to start with this, which is this one right here. So, last year, right, I can't talk. July 3rd. This is before Omega, so we've had 3 ridiculously tough fights which will impact these rankings. The Omega Shenron fight, and then we have, I think, First Form Cell in the Dismal Future Red Zone, and Rose Goku Black in the Dismal Future Red Zone. I think it's very important to account for all of these tough fights when grading and ranking characters. I think what's really good, too, is that, I mean, the First Form Cell fight is sort of just a weaker version of the Rose Goku Black. So it's like, we kind of don't really need to count First Form Cell so much anymore. It's just Goku Black. And then the Omega fight. Characters can be super good versus Goku Black, and then kind of ass versus Omega, and vice versa. So that is a good thing, I would say. That we have, you know, these fights that are, you know, completely, vastly different. Alright, so let's go ahead and start here. Vegeta and Trunks are number 10 on our list. Funny enough, this exact tier list, the start of the Worldwide Download Celebration last year, they were number 1. So they actually have still held up, and they're in the top 10 here. They're very powerful, right? Very good. You know, they're a strong defensive unit. They can stack. Things are a little bit messier for them against Goku Black and First Form Cell, because those fights just hit so hard. But this is not specifically a Vegeta and Trunks problem. This affects most of the game, right? Most of the characters, you know, early on, you know, so many characters have build up in some fashion like this right here, right? Or so many characters are stacking defense like this right here. It's a very common thing. Now, Vegeta and Trunks are still great against Omega, which I think is the toughest fight in the game. We have the Father-Son Gallic Gun, which is still a devastatingly powerful active skill. I think that's a very strong unit, still good. This is an overhated character. They have been for a year. Last year, because of the fact that this unit, I think, wasn't out on Global at the time, this character had an immense amount of, like, kind of downplay towards them in the Worldwide Celebration last year. And then people have been trying to write them off ever since. But, I mean, they're still good. They're still hanging on strong. Next, we're going to bring in AGL Carnival Goku, who's right here. I left way too many characters. We did not need this many characters down here. Whatever, it's fine. We have AGL Carnival Goku right here. He kind of does very similar things to Vegeta and Trunks, but he also has a Ki Blast nullification. But the thing that is just so clutch, this is actually one of the strongest abilities in the game, is this right here. This is so damn good. The fact that this happens at the end of the turn, so you would then go into the next turn in a good spot. I love when characters do something like that. Some big, you know, like run-saving heal can be very good. So like this character, you know, being like a guard character, a stacking character, you have this heal. It's just a very nice tight combo. Just generally a very powerful character. I put Goku typically above Vegeta and Trunks on account of that heal, which I've found to be so good, and that's mainly the reason why. Next, damn, this character is at 8. That's so crazy, but like I don't feel I'm not grading them wrong here. They're just at 8. Yeah, it's nuts. This unit can do explosive damage. They have a gigantic weakness, which it's not a skill issue. It's not you're playing wrong. It's not. It's just they have a hole, which is at the start of the fight, they can get absolutely worked. They can get cooked because they have no exceptional defensive abilities besides just the fact that they stack defense with every super attack. But it's like, you know, oh my god, they could stack defense. They're at 600k defense, guys. They're so good. Let's put a screenshot on Twitter. Oops. Oh, Rose Goku Black supered them for 1.5 million turn 1 or whatever. Well, base Goku Black. It's like, oh, oops. Well, yeah. 600k defense is really good there. So, like, that's the issue. I think that this is still one of the strongest things that a character can do. Like this, like just defensive juggernaut form right here is just so powerful. I like this character a lot. It's just they do have a weakness. I mean, we're not going to look at characters where it's like, oh my god, they're perfect in every way with no weakness. They 100% take 0 damage in every single fight ever against every single boss ever. Like, characters have got pros and cons in all these situations. I do like this character though. You know, they're at 8, but it's not like they're, you know, trash or something like that. Next, we're going to grab these two. They functionally have the same kit, so I do keep these guys in the same spots. Again, they're pretty much the same unit. I would grade Vegito a little bit better because he's going to more consistently do more super attacks, which means he's going to more consistently have a higher defensive ability. Gogeta, of course, can do just jaw-dropping damage, though, if you have this activated. Now, these characters are very good. I don't like these guys against Omega. Not a fan. I don't even run them against Omega. I didn't like them against Sin either, but I would run Gogeta because he had type advantage at the end, right? I'm just not a fan. They could get cooked a little too easy in the final phase against those AoEs. But then we get First Form Cell and the Goku Black Rose fight, where these guys are so good. Because in base, these units, I mean, they're pretty ass, right? Like, they're just kind of ass. I mean, they're not that. You just put them in slot 3 and they have a 70% chance to dodge. And I mean, typically their defense is an okay level against normals. I feel like I'm not usually having them in base get cooked by normals. But against these very, very difficult fights where, you know, turn 1, the boss is supering like Cell max damage. And I mean, them with their dodge in slot 3, they come back. They have guaranteed dodge their first turn transformed. And, you know, the fight is over. And you just, they're just very powerful. This is a unit that if I had done an LR tier list, I might have slightly dropped them after Omega came out. I think it's important to grade the hardest fight with a little bit of extra like grading curve towards the hardest fight. I do think you should do that. I think Omega's the hardest fight right now, but the introduction of these very difficult fast fights, I do feel comfortable kind of having the Blue Fusions right here. And the Blue Fusions also got better with the introduction of LR Blue Vegito as well. Oh, speaking of him, here he is right here. LR Blue Vegito. Let's grab him. So he's coming in at 6. I mean, certainly we could say that might be a low spot here. I mean, if we look at the 2022 characters, right, I had Carnival Goku at 2, and I had Final Form Cooler at 3. 2 years ago, I had Full Power Frieza at 2, and Namek Goku at 3. And then now, this year, we have Blue Vegito at 6. One big difference, though, is I feel like Power Creep has moved much slower compared to back then. So it's like some of these characters have just hung around in like very dominant fashion. I feel like longer than we've seen in the past, right? Now, this character, I guess we could say... Actually, you know what we're going to do? Before we really get into this, we're also going to grab this character right here. We're going to grab Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Because I've seen a lot of discussion about these two characters. Using this unit a bunch, I can confirm that Super Saiyan 4 Goku to me feels better. So, in base, Goku and Vegeta, their damage typically is going to be pretty low. Now, that doesn't really, like, bother me so much. 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 9.9 times out of 10, it's like you are winning strictly off of characters' defensive abilities anyway. Defense is always more important. This character, while their intro is up, which is this right here. While this is up, they're really quite good. I feel like you could probably kind of favorably compare them to like Dokkan Fest God Goku a bit. I mean, it seems to me I've found that Dokkan Fest God Goku outperforms this base Goku and Vegeta. But I mean, that's you can kind of think of them maybe similarly a little bit, right? Except this character's doing way less damage than God Goku. But again, I like to gear my opinions more so around their defensive abilities anyway. So you run this character in slot 1, and they get this right here, the extra 150% defense, and then they have a high chance to dodge. So a high chance to dodge, they are guarding from their intro. They really can be quite good for the first 4 turns. This does prove to work out very well for the Rose Goku Black fight, the first form Cell fight. But the issue I've found is, while they are very good while the intro is up, once the intro wears off, it is life or death. If they get caught, you get one shot. It's over. It's over. You're done. And the problem here is that this condition is the worst. It sucks. It gets lost on people. Why is this condition bad? It's because all over the place here, there's multiple conditions. So let's just focus on this first part right here. So this is condition A for them to transform. And it's still 2 different things you need to proc. Under 70% HP and turn 5, right? So condition A is 2 things. And then condition B is also 2 things. A Future Saga ally or enemy and turn 7. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I would feel much better about this character. I think I would put them probably above Super Saiyan 4 Goku. If it was just turn 4 or turn 5, right? Because the other thing to remember too, it's not turn 5. It's specifically their 5th turn, not turn 5. So if they start in slot 7, you can't transform with them until turn 7. It's dreadful. It's a terrible condition, a horrible, horrible condition. And that is the major issue with this character. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, in order for him to transform, he has to be hit 5 times. I'm not in love with this either, no way. But it's just far more consistent. I was going against Omega, and I was terrified with this character. I was having such difficulties transforming. It was terrifying. And I'm starting to like, okay, like, let me not get type orbs right here to kind of stay below the HP threshold. Like, it's just, it's horrible. Their transformation condition is horrible. Now, there's another issue here. Like, you swap into Oob. This unit is so crazy. You could get cucked sometimes, because this guy's only good with 3 type key spheres. And he creates int type key spheres as well. He doesn't even create rainbow. So you can get cucked with this character. Let's not pretend like this guy's invincible in every way and he can never get touched, because that's just not true, right? But you could go into this guy, and he gives all allies 3 key 70% defense for 2 turns. Like, once this guy comes out, the effect is just devastating. And you could see this guy on turn 3. It's not, I don't want to say like it happens all the time, but it's more often that I get Oob on turn 3 than it is more often that I get Vegito on turn 5. I can tell you that. So it's like, I do like that quite a bit. This huge defensive buff for 2 turns. Then you swap in a full power right here. And this is something that really pisses me off about Blue Vegito. And this has directly led to issues, I think, in battle. Is you transform into Blue Vegito, and for some reason, you don't get healed. That shit is ass. It's like you will be at like 20% HP or something like that. A couple of times I've gotten him to transform. And then we're fighting, we're just by the skin of our nails. You transform into this guy and you've won. Like, it's over. He completely heals you. And then it's like you're deep in the fight. You know, your characters will be built up. You know, it's just a complete reset. You're good to go. I would probably rank Vegito, Blue Vegito, over Full Power Super Saiyan 4 head-to-head, probably. This guy is gonna... too often people get deceived by just, oh my god, look at this attack stat number. Wowie, wowie, zowie, they're so hard. They hit so hard, they're so good. But, like, there's a lot more that actually goes into that, right? Like, Vegito, I mean, he'll do, like, a 9 or a 10, but he'll do, like, 4 or 5, right? Like, full power will do 20 million. It's a guaranteed crit, and people, oh my god, he's God, which, I mean, he is. But it's not like he's blowing Vegito out by 50 times, because he's not. I probably would rank Vegito, like if they were both start a turn like this, I'd rank Vegito higher, I'm thinking. Because it's like he's got damage reduction and dodge in slot 1. Full power just has the damage reduction in slot 1, although full power also has guaranteed guard for the first turn, right? His guaranteed crits only last for 3 turns, whereas Vegito is super effective in all types the entire time he's out. It's another thing people get lost on, is the fact that he is super effective in all types. But even when full power's crit wears off, still has a 70% chance to crit, right? So it's, oh, he doesn't have guaranteed crit anymore? Well, now it's a 70% chance to crit. I've just found this character feels safer and stronger overall, like all 3 forms, than this character does. It's just that simple. I feel very confident in saying this too, that I like full power over Vegito Blue. Like, I don't really feel like flimsy on it, like, maybe I could hear some differing points or anything like that. Like, no, it's just a matter of comfort. You are much more comfortable going into a fight with this guy over Vegito Blue, although they have similarities in a lot of the stuff that they're doing, honestly. So there's that. There's those 2 right there. Next, we have Fusion Zamasu right here. Now, I couldn't go higher than him. I was really thinking about it. Should we just fill in the rest of the list? I guess we could just fill in the rest of the list at this point. Let's just go ahead and grab everyone. So then we have OP at 3, we have GT, Goku, and Vegeta at 2, and then we have Bulma at 1. All right, so let's just fill in all these characters, and we could just sort of talk generally about a lot of them. Who are we missing here? We grab them. I want them at 2. I was very close to putting Orange Piccolo at 3. It's tough. At these highest classic characters, it gets very, very difficult to sort of go back and forth on and stuff like that. And we'll get to, I made, this type of tier list as well. We'll get to that in 2 seconds, right? So, Fusion Zamasu. I've been shocked, actually, at how strong defensively this guy is. He is just so much stronger defensively than it feels like he's going to be. It's because his start of turn defense really does not look that impressive. It's like, okay, he's sitting at like 200k and stuff like that. But what it is this. It's this right here. This defense, for whatever reason, I believe, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Zamasu is the first character that works like this. His defense applies the second the attack is targeted at him. So, there's a million characters in this game where an attack will be aimed at the character. Dude, Super Saiyan 4 is literally one of them. Where is it? It's this. This right here. Super Saiyan 4 Goku will get hit. Then his defense will kick in for the next hit, right? So, it's like the first hit, you don't have it active. For Zamasu, it is. Like, the second the enemy begins to attack Zamasu, it is active for that attack. And if you are like me and you like to go dodge builds, even if you dodge, the defensive buff still applies as well. This is something I do like. So this guy, we have 2, like, pretty much back-to-back characters now. Notice this guy gets the defense as well after evading an attack. So he also gets so Dokkan seems like they're thinking like me, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, dodge is very viable, dodge is strong. So they are starting to kind of like give you like outs, like, okay, you dodge it and you're still getting this defense, which is very impressive. So Zamasu has that. Zamasu typically can do, you can't even put the base Goku and Vegeta in the same realm as this guy in terms of damage. Remember that he does have just a flat-out 50% chance to crit as well. A lot of his damage, though, comes from this. So, there's going to be some RNG of where the enemy decides to attack, right? Like, if you get, 4 attacks aimed at this guy instantly, his damage just right out of the gate is going to be super crazy. He does have very high, like, he's untouched. He's basically LR Golden Frieza turn 1. And then he'll slowly sort of taper off, just like LR Golden Frieza. The thing is, though, is that LR Golden Frieza fades away to a much bigger degree than Fusion Zamasu does. Fusion Zamasu, at the end, with only his 40% damage reduction left over, which is right here, even with only this left, he's still quite good. So that's very powerful. Now, the reason I like this guy better than Vegito is he has the same shitty condition. It's literally the exact same shitty condition as Vegito. And it sucks ass on this guy just like it does on Vegito. The difference, though, is that Corrupted Fusion Zamasu here is a god. I don't know why it scrolled down. He is just an unbelievable god in base. Whereas, you know, once your intro wears off on this unit, that's the problem. The intro wears off, and you're not guaranteed to transform into this guy. It's just very scary. Whereas Fusion Zamasu, like, he's just God, right? And then it's like you transform with him. He has this new mechanic, this domain mechanic. Right now, we can't really take super advantage of it. Of his domain ability, which causes superclass enemies and allies to take 30% extra damage. But, you know, it could be very, very crazy in the future. He does also have this effect right here, which is very strong, where he gives... The entire time the domain is out, he's giving extreme class allies 3 ki. Very good. I mean, we've gone over and over about how, you know, villains can struggle because of the way they've done villain links, where it's like, you know, Super Buu has got, like, Majin and, you know, Metamorphosis, and then Cell has, like, Ultimate Life Form and shit like that, and then Fusion Zamasu's got, like, Godly Power. Like, these, you know, villains all have these specific villain links, and so much of their performance is predicated on having these specific villain links up, and it's like running all the best villains together. You're not going to have these specific villain links up, so it is very nice for Zamasu to cover a little bit of that. And then, I mean, once you go to this guy, this is my favorite single line in the game. We talked about favorite, like, you know, bullet points, strongest bullet points in the game. Previously, the strongest bullet point was 23rd World Tournament Goku, but I think Infinite Fusion Zamasu's is now stronger, right? So previously, I would have said the single strongest bullet point in the game is this right here. Nothing would have passed this. The extra 150% of stats, additional super, and guard after him or an ally revives. Now, there is a stronger bullet point, and it's this. Nullify all attacks directed at the character. That's better. I mean, you know, like, that's... I don't need to, like, sell you guys on that. Nullifies all attacks directed at the character. And then he's also supporting. He creates orbs. The only thing is, he creates so many tech key spheres that it's like every time, like it's like my PP does a little, like, you know, bounce upwards. Like, oh, time to heal hundreds of thousands of HP from all these same type orbs. But he has very low start of turn defense because he doesn't have any start of turn defense because he doesn't need it. But him not getting any start of turn defense means he's not going to heal as much as he potentially could from all these tech orbs in front of him, right? But he is still very, very good. Very, very strong character. This guy, to me, is a massive W. I mean, they could have potentially made him slightly better by making this condition better. But overall, I would say this guy is a great. I could not be more pleased with this villain that they dropped. And then the top 3 is kind of still the top 3. Orange Piccolo, you know, he's just so tanky. He could do the great damage. The Orange Piccolo transformation of canceling boss abilities and being as dominant as he is just really crazy. The GT Goku and Vegeta, you know, you have your crazy Spirit Bomb. You know, they super attack a couple of times and they get the huge damage reduction. They're just so strong defensively. I think against Rose or First Form Cell, you could have a bad turn from them. Nothing can change the fact that you could get 24 ki with them, and you could only double super, and then they get supered, and you get one shot, because the boss is actually hit so hard, right? Because remember, with, what is it? It's with 20 ki? No, it's with 18 ki. You have a 70% chance of a super, and then the hidden potential system additional is a 50% chance to be a super. So no matter what, you know, you could just do 2 super attacks and then get clapped turn 1, but this character is very good, very strong. I was very close to putting Orange Piccolo above them. I mean, I certainly, if people were really mad and wanted to put Piccolo above them, I'm not fighting against that. And then, I mean, it's just, dude, I'm not even talking about her. Like, she's just 1. She's number 1. Like, what she does with the guard, the damage reduction, the support, the active, she's just 1. Dude, she's just number 1. You know, you run this bitch on the team, and then run the team, but you replace her with any strong character, and you feel it. Oh, you sure do feel it. Again, orb changing, supporting, tanking. Like, this is the dream unit right here. This is the ideal character that Dokkan could drop. The only thing they could have done better with Fusion Zamasu is they could have made him this instead. That's literally the only better thing they could have done. All right, so this is what this looks like. not really a ton of separation here. I mean, I do feel like there's maybe a little bit of a gap between, you know, what Carnival Goku and Vegeta and Trunks are doing compared to the top tier. But I mean, that's how I'm feeling with it. They have not really exploded power creep very much. They just haven't. Power creep has not exploded since the 7th anniversary LRs came out, right? So this is kind of the way I'm looking right here. And then if we take a look at last time I did one of these, basically the only difference is just I didn't move the order. We just slide in Goku and Vegeta right there, and then Fusion Zamasu right there. That's it. Right? Like I don't feel the need to drastically change these, even with the really tough fights, the new ones we've added. I probably would, if First Form Cell and Rose didn't come out, I would have them above the Blue Fusions, because I do not run the Blue Fusions against Omega or Sin. But the thing is, people were incorrect, mistakenly saying, oh my god, they're way better because of the Omega fight. But like STR Omega would blow them straight into hell instantly. Like if they were ever not transformed getting to that point. So, I mean, that was just full of shit anyway. Like, this character could get completely destroyed by Omega. Right? It's unless you're in standby mode, they get cooked. So, yeah, there's that. Let me know what you guys think of the top 10 LRs. Let's just take one more glance at this. Am I ready for the French to do 50 quote tweets calling me stupid? Let me take a look here. Yeah. Yep, we do like this. This looks good. I feel good about my boys Vegeta and Trunks still hanging in there at number 10. Is there a character competing with Vegeta and Trunks maybe to get to that 10 spot? I don't know. I mean, who did I have at 10 before it was Carnival Goku, or Carnival Goku was behind Vegeta and Trunks? Yeah. I mean, Carnival Goku has literally never for even 1 second been better than Vegeta. He's just worse than Vegeta and Trunks. So, no. Maybe like Carnival Kid Gohan. Final Form Cooler, I mean, is certainly good. Right? But like, he's not competing with Vegeta and Trunks. Hell no. Ultimate Gohan, I mean, he's not quite good enough to break into this top 10. Ultimate Gohan is not messing with Vegeta and Trunks either. Yeah, I feel good about this. So, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't really have an issue with the strength level of the 2 new LRs. The only thing I just wish is that the transformation conditions were easier. Transformation conditions being annoying sap a lot of fun out of a character. It's literally always been this way. Nothing is better than what these boys down here have right here. You get to turn 4 and you could choose to go into it whenever you want. That's it. If this character and Fusion Zamasu were just turn 4, I mean, they would both be moving up 1 or 2 spots. Yeah. If you change their conditions to turn 4, I might have Goku and Vegeta at 4 and Zamasu at 2. I think if you could just transform on turn 4 with no other condition, I think they would both go up 2 spots. Is what I would do. Yeah. So, let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys next time.